Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're one of my regular visitors. And if you are new here, an even bigger welcome to you. And hopefully you'll like what you see, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe. So today I am bringing for Leo the short heads up video about all you need to know, Leo, for May Astrology 2023. And that's whether you are a sun in Leo or a rising sign, also known as the ascendant. You can also check your moon sign as well. I always forget to add that, but sometimes it can add a little bit of texture to your understanding of what might be going on for you. So let's have a look, because we have a very interesting month ahead. And I'm going to start right at the beginning on May the 1st, because it's your relationships that are really under the spotlight, Leo. Pluto, our planet of power, transformation, beginnings and endings, is now in your 7th house of significant relationships. It's actually going to be here more or less for 20 years. The next 2 years, you're going to see it kind of going back and forwards a bit between your 7th and 6th house. And on May the 1st, it goes retrograde. So by the 11th, it will have gone back into your 6th house, which is much more about your health and routine. So if there is anything to do with your health that you still need to address, then using this Pluto retrograde at this point would be very good. But your relationships are going to change. If you're single, you may not be for long. If you're in a relationship, it could go through massive changes. Some relationships that really aren't working will end. And you know, it's a clearing planet. It's a planet that clears the way. Don't fear it, because whatever needs to go is meant to go, because there is something much better coming in to replace it. So let's also move ahead quickly to May the 5th, because we have the second of these two powerful eclipses that we're experiencing. The first eclipse at the last final degrees of Aries was on April the 20th, the day before Mercury, our planet of communication, went retrograde. This is a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, our sign of secrets, of sexuality, of transformation, of beginnings, endings, other people's money. And it's Scorpio, which is your 4th house, which for you is about your family. It's about your ancestry. It's about your roots. It's also about where you live. So this could bring up issues to do with maybe family. There may be some doors that need to close on certain issues that have been stirred up, perhaps by the Aries new moon total eclipse. People wanting, or children wanting, to go out and, sow their seeds and scatter in the big wide world. So those could be some of the kind of changes. If you're retired, or if you are in a situation where you don't have children, then this is much more about it. Well, it depends really what other aspects you've got in this part of your chart, because if you don't really have any major planets in this part of your chart, then this full moon eclipse will come and go, and will just be kind of like, maybe you'll feel about personal things or things in the home. Maybe you'll decide to get rid of, clear out that cupboard, clear out that clutter. That could also be a good use of this full moon energy. By the 9th, the Sun in Taurus is conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Now, this is the part of your chart that is to do with your career and work, or if you're retired, to do whatever it is you're totally absolutely passionate about, that you would get out of bed for, even if no one was paying you. So the sun in your 10th house has been highlighting your career, or this area, whatever comes under your passion in this part of your chart. So you've been giving it a lot of thought. Taurus is about luxury and stability, and it's conjunct Uranus. I wonder if you are going to get some surprising information coming through, surprising events, surprising news, which shifts your particular career up a gear. I know Mercury is retrograde, and, we can't forget about that. But this could be something with its roots in the past, because remember, Mercury is also in this part of your chart, in Taurus. So I suspect something from the past that you'd kind of maybe just thought nothing will come of that comes back. By the 15th, Mercury, our planet of communication, turns direct. Now, it stays within its own shadow. That means it's still got to go quite a way before it reaches what one might call virgin territory of the sign it's in, which is Taurus. So it stays in that till 26th, 27th, 28th. After that, it moves into real new territory, and then we begin a whole new cycle and a whole new story. On the 16th, Jupiter, my big outer boy of opportunity, luck, expansion, growth, and also it can expand the tummy. So we always have to watch out for that. Fine if you want to get pregnant, but not so good if you don't want to gain those extra pounds or kilos. Now, Jupiter has been in Aries in your 9th house, and just as it moves in to Taurus, it is, of course, conjunct that eclipse point that we had on April the 20th. So something might come up about whatever was going on behind the scenes for you to do with your public image, with putting you out there on the kind of world stage. So Jupiter enters Taurus, and this means it's going to be spending about a year in the part of your chart to do with your career, passion, whatever rocks your boat. And it's going to really bring luck and opportunity, especially if you're working in a situation where you could do with a bit of luck. It can bring expansion and growth in this part of your chart. And also because it's Taurus, it can bring an increase in your income. So all in all, that's a really nice placement for you, Leo. May the 18th, Jupiter in Taurus will square Pluto in your 7th house, now retrograde in Aquarius. Now, this could see you having a little bit of a challenge, I think, with a business partner, that you've got to sort some things out, address how you go forward, look at the best way to use this kind of lucky energy. So what I'm saying, Leo, is don't rush at it. Listen to the advice of your work colleagues or a partner that is to do with work, because maybe they actually have a point. Because on the 19th, we have the new moon in Taurus in this same part of your chart. So you can see that Taurus is action-packed for you. Your career is really under the spotlight this month. So this new moon, like with all new moons, is giving you an opportunity to start afresh, to start something new within the framework of what you're already working on. Now let's look at Mars, because Mars, of course, is in your sign. Mars, of course, is the god of action, war, sexuality, assertion, energy, the body as well. It's in Leo. It's very proud in Leo. Now, it's going to be on the 21st in opposition to retrograde Pluto still in Aquarius. This could see some clashes between you and a loved one about ideas you've got about how you want to present yourself to the outside world. You may be saying, come on, let's go on that 10-mile hike. And your partner is saying, I don't think so. Certainly if my partner, if I had one, said that to me, I would be saying, definitely not, my darling, is what I'd be saying. And if that was you, Brandon, I'm talking to you. I will not be going on any 10-mile hikes. Brandon, for any of you that maybe not be aware, is my partner in crime on our weekly episodes on his channel of Whiskey and Bagels. So check those out if you haven't seen them. There we look at topical current affairs and look at the astrology connected with it. By the 23rd, Mars, still in your first house, squares that Jupiter in Taurus. Don't overextend yourself, Leo. Don't overestimate what you're capable of doing. Take a few steps back, because I do feel this square is just warning you that there may be opportunities coming along in your career. Don't overdo it. Take a little bit of that Mercury retrograde energy to take a step back and think very carefully before you make any major decisions. In fact, hold off to the end of May before making any major decisions connected with your career, Leo. The 23rd, we've just dealt with, because I've just talked about that. That's the Leo, Mars in Leo square Jupiter in Taurus. I'm leaping on the wrong lines. By the 25th, here we go. Now, the 25th is a very significant day, and the days around it, and I will do a separate heads up about this, because we have what is known as a fixed grand cross. This is the energy, the energy is made by squares between all the fixed signs, namely Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio. We have the nodes and Jupiter in Taurus and Scorpio. We have Mars in Leo, and we have Pluto in Aquarius. This, I feel, is an opportunity for you to actually take some time out to reflect. Just pause, Leo, pause. I was thinking of pause. Just pause on your pause, Leo, and don't make any rash changes at this time. Wait and see what this energy is actually going to bring up, because I also think there could be events going on in the external world that we'll all have to be mindful of around this time. So this is really a time for prudent caution and being mindful about not making any major decisions. On the 27th, before I finish your reading, Jupiter, my big outer boy of expansion, luck and opportunity, is conjunct the North Node in your 10th house, Taurus. This is super cool for you. This shows us that as we go and move towards the end of May, you are being given opportunities to somehow fulfill a fated destiny. Now, you will each have to individually work out what that means for you. But that's what's coming to me. This is about fated destiny, and I think it's good. On that note, thank you so much for joining me, Leo, my lovely pussycats. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you to all the people that do comment. I love reading your comments, and I do my very best to get round all of them and respond, because it's heartwarming, and it's lovely to know that we're kind of creating this dialogue. So it's a really nice feeling going both ways, I think. So, and the other thing is, if you've not yet subscribed to my website, it would be lovely if you could do that, because Me and my team always sounds ever so kind of like I've really got my act together, doesn't it? When I say my team, well, two people. But actually, listen, they are totally invaluable. I couldn't do any of this without them. But it just sounds a bit grand to say my team. Listen, we're working on the website and we have some ideas and plans for Zoom, webinars, meetings. There'll be a small fee. There's going to be some courses that you can buy. And so we're working on all of that at the moment. So if you subscribe, you will then get the newsletter telling you when these things are going to be available. But it's not going to be much before the second part of the year. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me, Leo. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.